Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Sage Construction Management demo. My name is Sullivan Sanders, a marketing coordinator here at Action Associates. Just some quick housekeeping items. Today's webinar will be recorded, so you are muted, and we will share the link to the recording after the webinar. During the presentation, please utilize the Q&A feature to ask any questions if needed, and we will answer them during the Q&A session at the end. If you experience any technical issues during the webinar, you may also use that Q&A feature, and we will try our best to assist you. We have also provided a post-webinar survey, which is already available in your webinar console. We ask that you please fill that out as your feedback is important to us. With all that being said, let me introduce today's presenter, Jim Davis. Jim is a seasoned construction professional with over 25 years of experience in the industry. His expertise spans across various facets, including accounting, finance, operations, and software solutions. Throughout his career, Jim has consistently demonstrated a strong understanding of industry best practices and a deep knowledge of Sage software applications. Without further ado, I'll hand it on over to you, Jim.
Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Today, we will be walking through Sage Construction Management. I'm going to go through a couple of slides real quick, and then we'll jump right into the product. Is it advancing? I don't believe I'm advancing. Can you see my screen advancing? There it goes.
Yep, now we're all good.
Alrighty.
Sorry, it paused on my end too.
Yeah, it wasn't moving. So, okay, so today, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about Sage Construction Management. It is a cloud-based platform, so it's written in the web. You can connect to it via any internet browser or your mobile devices. As we start looking through these different screens here, I'm going to, for whatever reason, this PowerPoint's not going very quickly, so I'm literally just going to jump right out and go into the presentation. So I'm going to share my screen here. Share screen. Please let me know that you can see my screen. Alrighty. So as we are looking at the information here, and if the screen's not showing, somebody just pop into chat or whatever on the questions and let me know. As we are logged into Sage Construction Management, we are greeted with a screen that gives us information about our daily objectives. We can see all the alerts that we have going on here. I can go into my workflows so I can see any approvals that I need to handle inside the system. And I can also see anything that's going through our e-sign area here, which is going to be the DocuSign documents. Now, before we get into all this, I want to go ahead and jump up here for a second and show you a little bit in the background of the system. First of all, I do want to go into help because a lot of things have been happening in the system. You can see the help's really way out. You can have videos, you can get in Team Link, but then over here you can see all the different things happening. The first thing I want to talk about is just going in and looking at our integration area here. Now, when we start talking about the integration, I'm going to go into our ERPs. You can see that we're integrated to multiple softwares, but we're talking about Intact today. So I want to go here and show you what's happening inside of Intact. So if I come up here to our integration overview, you're going to be able to see a lot of different things that are happening in the system. Now, when I say that, I mean that have been updated since the last time we did this webinar. We've increased the syncing functionality between Intact and Sage Construction Management. It's very well laid out. You can see exactly how things flow, but you can see where we've done things where we have the repost capabilities. So not only can we send it in, but we can send it in again if we've made changes to it. But everything's flowing back and forth, including the AR invoice or AR invoice payments and AP invoice payments. Go back out here real quick. Just minimize that for a second. Talk about the release notes. So I wanted to pull this up because we are doing a lot of releases around Sage Construction Management. And you can see kind of some of the things that have been happening around browser and leading the projects. You can see our February release updates here. So enhanced photo albums, things like that. But I wanted to show you something because if you've been around Intact or have had a demonstration or anything about it, we always talk about those 4 releases a year, those 4 major updates. Sage is putting a lot of effort behind this product right now. So it's actually doing more of a 2-for-1. You can see we just had this release on the 19th of February. We're going to have another one in April, June, August, October, December. This product is being enhanced quickly and getting more and more feature sets into it. Coming back out, I want to talk a little bit right up here about our settings. So we're going to have the ability to set up different controls inside this, including security. We can have different templates and reports set up, scope templates that we can add to different documents, email templates. We can also go into our feature settings. This gives us a little bit more user friendliness, ease of use, because we can go to any section, maybe it's our correspondence, and maybe we're looking at things like RFI reasons. Well, it comes with some, sure. You don't like them, delete them, add more. You're going to be able to make this product your own and make sure that it follows your rules and procedures. We also have the ability to set up different workflows. Now, workflows in the system are approval processes. We can come in and set up as many as we want. They're very easy to set up. You walk through with a description, and then you edit the workflow. So here's the workflow right here. If I go through this, you can see exactly how this was built. If anything's greater than $100, that was that first part. This is the approvers. It builds out my whole screen for me over here with 3 days to do it. So it's really easy to set these up. eSign is going to be the DocuSign interface. So you literally sign into your DocuSign account from Sage Construction Management, and we can send things through the system via DocuSign. And then one more thing I want to mention is the TeamLink portal. TeamLink portal is for all of our architects, vendors, owners. We can set up as many roles there and invite as many people to the system as we want to, but we can actually have different aspects to what they can see and what they can do. And there's actually a different website they log into, which I will show you in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and come back out here and start looking through the system a little bit. And I'm going to just expand my menu over here so you can see it. But we'll go through this menu, starting with contact management. Contact management is essentially our Rolodex. We can see all of the active companies in the system, and we can drill into those and see more details. So have all of our contacts in here, any licensing, insurance, we can have all that information in the system. From here, we can also reach the vendor hub. The vendor hub gives me all the information about the vendor on jobs. So as I go into that vendor hub, it's going to pop open the vendor and let me know everything that is happening with that vendor, as you can see. I don't know what we got going on right now. I don't know if it's my internet or the other side. That's how quick it's supposed to happen. There we go. So as we're looking at this, I can see Adams Electric. I can see their insurance information. I can see how much subcontracts they have out there, invoices. We can look at transactions. So you can see they have subcontracts on a couple jobs here and the invoices coming in on different jobs with drill down capabilities. We have the ability to track leads in this system. So a lead is anything that I'm thinking about doing, that I'm going to bid on or whatever the instance might be. It's not a job. We just want to track it inside the system. With those leads, we can see lots of different information. So as I open up this lead, I want to point out some things. We can develop the stages. So what stage is this lead in? We can start attaching drawings. We can do RFIs. But we also have the ability to get in and start building out an estimate. So this is going to be our budget. If I come in, you can see I can do it by different locations, things like that. I could import it from Excel. But we're going to view this estimate. We break down the estimate into our different sections and then add our items from our cost database, which you can put anything in here you want. But as you can see, as I go through these and look at things like project and field management that I've added here, Here's where we can put on labor, sub information, whatever we have going on that particular item. So we can really get in there and do those things. The other thing we can do is we can actually create bid packages and have bid management in the system. So I can create a bid package and send that bid package out to multiple individuals, track their responses, and even come in and do analysis against them, selecting vendors that I want to use. All of this information will allow us to flow right into the project. When we come out to the project, and then we'll just hit the entire list here so you can see kind of what we got going on. You can see general overview information on the projects. Inside the project itself, we're going to have all the details. So when I look at a project, I have all the details, but how did that project get created? Well, I can either create it manually from here if I'm not using that front end piece, or I can just take a lead and turn it into a project. So let's go ahead and go back out to the project here real quick and talk about some different information. I'm getting some general overview information here. Anything in different colors can be drilled into. I have my favorites. So anything I've been given access to can become a favorite. It's super easy to do. You go in here, you hit manage favorites. If you want something in the favorites, you click on it and hit save. So everybody can have their own favorites in that section. You can see estimates is now added. Down below is our actual menu. You only see things that you've been given access to. But this is going to be all the general information. This is where we're going to be able to start adding drawings. We can see them this way. We can see them in a card style. We can mark them up. We can add information to them. We can attach them or link them to other features inside the software. So if I needed to link it to a punch list item or something like that, we can do those different procedures in the actual application. All of this is available in the app also. When I come back out to the project home, you can see I can create a project directory. The project directory is all of the vendors, the owners, the architects that we're going to be working with. This is also where I'm going to be able to go in and I can select all those people and then invite them to TeamLink. It'll send them an email and give them a login to log into TeamLink, which we'll look at in a second. Coming back out, you can see kind of this layout of the software. We have our client contact info, our contract information, our procurement. So this is going to be our prime contract, and this is going to be our POs, subcontracts, things like that. Then we have our correspondence, which is anything that I'm putting out into the world, RFIs, submittals, documentation, anything that I need for myself, daily logs, photo logs, things like that. But we also have our quality control and safety. As we start looking through this, I can go into any one of these things. If it's the checklist, I can drill into it. I can update it from my app. I can put all the different information. If there's things I want to track in the system, I can do that using Sage Construction Management. At the top of every one of these categories here, you'll see overview. So if I click on that, it's going to give me more of a visual view of these things below it. So I can see all the checklist items that are open. I can see any stats out there. I can have some different visual cues. And I can launch from any one of these things just like the last time. So if I went in here and I popped open here, it's going to take me right back to where we were. So you have multiple ways to get to different information in the system. I also want to point out that we do have the ability to track the safety meetings along with regular meetings inside the software. As we move over into this section here and start looking through this different information, you can see I can do things like our daily logs in the system. I can go in, I can create a daily log. We can have general notes on that daily log. We can tell it what activities were handled that day, weather and site conditions. And as you see right here, if I go in here and say add manually, it actually pulls the site conditions from the address in the system. But I do have the ability to update any information I want. I can do this as many times in a day that I'd want to. Coming back around, I think that I want to jump into a little bit more information around TeamLink. So TeamLink is where our subcontractors, our vendors log in. And when they log in, they're greeted with different information. It's information that I've invited them to see. So when they log in, they could see their job that I invited them to. When we open up their job, they're going to have the information around that job and the details with that job. I think I am having some trouble today. If you don't mind, I'm just going to close this. I've had it open for hours and it may have froze up on me. So we'll just come back out here. We'll log in. I apologize, everybody. I am not sure what is going on today. I don't know if it's on my computer or what. I seem to be frozen.
It looks like it's loading on our end. I see an arrow.
Yeah,
Or not arrow, the circle of doom, right?
I mean, that was just opening up the page to log in.
Yeah.
So I think it's something to do with my internet or something, like communicating, because that's how quick things should pop up.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to go back in. Let's see if we can open this up. We're getting much quicker pop-ups again. As we're looking through the information here, I can see drawings from here. If I'm in the team link, I only see the drawings that I've been given access to, and it's always the newest drawing. So I don't see the, everything, including revisions. I see the latest revision when I look at drawings in here. I can see all my RFI submittals. I can even create an RFI from here, which would go to myself, to the company, not to the architect, not to the owner. It would come to us to do anything we want to do to it, and then proceed to move it along. When we come back out here, you can also see that I have the ability to see my sub invoices and my contracts and everything from here. I'm going to pick a different project here real quick, go into this one just to kind of walk you through some. If you want, your subs can even come in and create invoices in the system. So they can come in, they can put in their invoice. We'll just call this draw 6. They come down here, hit save and next. It will take them to their schedule of values where they can come in and say either a number to do or that they're % complete. So they can come in and do that and save and next. And it's going to create that invoice. Now, because of all the different aspects in Intact that's already, or inside of Sage Construction Management, it's already in Sage Construction Management. We can move this through the approval process, which will keep getting updated here. He can come down and put more information in, like if you want a hard copy of the invoice, or you want to have maybe lien releases or something like that attached. You can do all that through this TeamLink portal. Coming back out, we'll just log back into Intex so you can see that one too. Nope, wrong one. There we go. So as we come out here and open up this site, we'll log back in here and we'll come back down to this jobs. So as I'm looking through all the jobs, I have that information. I have the ability to do all those approvals again, but it's a completely integrated system here. As we look down below, you can see that I have the ability to do RFIs, submittals. One of the things I do like about the RFIs is while I'm doing an RFI, I do have the ability to actually make a recommendation also as to what I want to have done or what I think the answer should be. So we do have that capability inside the software. We also have the ability, if we don't get enough information back about the RFI, to create a follow-up RFI. So think about a revise and resubmit on a submittal. We actually can track it that way inside the system. Coming back out, want to talk through the different aspects over here. So we have our prime contracts. So you're going to be able to come in, set up things like your schedule of values inside the system. We'll be able to track it through the system. We'll be able to bill against it, our clarifications, everything's right here. We can print these out. I can also send this information out via DocuSign. So if I want to create the contract in here, I come right here to this information. I can pick any type of a template I want to go along with it, and I can send it via DocuSign. So easy information there to get to the right aspect of the program. When we come down here and we want to actually do an invoice, we can come in and go to our prime invoices. All I have to do is actions and say I want to do the next one. It's going to ask me information about it. First of all, it's going to show me that everything's filled in from the job. It's automatically incrementing the invoice number. And as I move forward, I can tell it, yeah, we're doing just a general invoice, or maybe I want to do the retainage invoice. But we're going to do just a general invoice. Brings up the same kind of screen as you saw for the subcontractors, where I can either put in a current work completed or a percent complete and update either way. Then I can send this out via email. Coming back over, yes, we do have the ability to do both prime contracts and change orders in the system, or change requests and change orders in the system. Multiple change requests can become a single change order. So we're tracking all the change requests in the system, how things are going to be updated, what are we expecting to have happen, all the line items to it, how it's going to mark things up. And then once they say, hey, yeah, I approve change order or change request 137, we can actually then go over and do a change order. So if we go to our change order screen and I open up one of the change orders here, what you're going to see is that it actually brings change requests in onto the change order. So this is change request 2 that it brought in all those line items on the change order, but it can have as many change requests added to it as you want. Once again, all of this can then be sent via the DocuSign. Now I'm going to show you that real quick. So the way we do that is we come in here and we save the PDF to linked files. What that's going to do is create a PDF and put it right down here at the bottom of the screen for me. So right here is all the information I just created, the linked files. From here, I can say, send this out via e-sign. I want to initiate the e-sign. Here's the different information about who the first signer is. If there's additional signers, they're all right here, and I can say send document. This will actually send out via DocuSign. So, for instance, what will happen here is you will get something like this from DocuSign. So it's going out via DocuSign in the system. Now we're going to be able to track that in the system and see exactly where that is at any given time. If we come back out here and look at e-sign, for instance, if I'm looking at this one right here or this one, it doesn't matter which one, I can see the signers that are out there. This is the one we just sent. So it just sent out to those 2 people. Here's one that was sent a little earlier where this person's already signed it. They've completed it, but this person's still waiting. So you actually know what's going on in the system via DocuSign at any given time. So very easy to get this information in and out of the system. As we come back out to projects and we look at a few more things in here, just want to pull up a couple of different things for you guys. I do want to talk about the fact that we can get into different things around photos and photo logs, but the key here is that everything's accessible and everything can link back to accounting. So there's not going to be any double entry. We use something called the accounting link. And at first we start off with our posting preferences. With our posting preferences, I can say things like, hey, when it comes down to a customer, who is the king of the equation? Is it intact? Is it CM? Or do we just go with whoever last modified it? We can go through our general preferences, how we're going to create these things, where we're attaching, how AP connects to all the different pieces. What do we want it to look like? Job to date information, what's coming from, what are the different cost types inside the system. So we have more and more capability. By the way, this is brand new. It used to be that we were essentially just at the highest level, labor, material, subcontract. Now we can get down to all the different cost types to get this information. So very easy to get through this. Now what happens is there's a gatekeeper. So that gatekeeper will come in and go like this. It will show you everything that needs to be posted still. and it's going to go through everything. Now, I don't have a lot to post over, but you'll see it going through all the different types of activities up here, where it's purchase orders, subcontracts, bills, change orders, and it will bring up everything that it needs to sync. So there is a quality control. We don't just have project managers pushing things in anytime they want into the accounting systems. There is a quality control around that. Now, as we look a little bit further, we do have the ability to get into our analytics. So as we look at analytics, this is going to be our dashboards and our reporting. So as we come down here, I can do it on any job. I can do it on multiple jobs if I want to. I can look at different summary dashboards. I can look at different reports. We can look at them by maybe cost reports. So maybe I want to look at something like a cost overview report. We can do that. There were a lot of different checkboxes there. There's lots of different ways to view these reports. So as this report opens up for us right now, I just hit view reports, so it'll populate for us. You can see they're very clean reports with a lot of data. Now, if I hover over these things, in certain places, you'll see a cursor change, like right there. That means I can drill in and get more information behind it. So there is some of that capability inside the system. When we come back out, I can also see dashboards. These are very easy to read, very easy to manage type dashboards in this system. So as I pull up different information about this job, you can see all the different information we want to see across the board right here. If I can actually click, there we go. Where we are as a percent of budget, year to date, quarter to date, everything's right here for me. So you have a full system that's totally integrated back and forth with Sage intact. Come back out of here. I'm just going to close a couple of these screens back up for us here. There is one piece of the project I didn't mention, and I probably should while we're on the call here. If I go back into my projects here and I scroll down, you're going to notice that we do have the ability to do schedules in this system. This is a full scheduling product. I would say it's a little bit lighter than a Microsoft project, but it does handle a lot of that information. So I do have the ability to have dependent tasks, things like that, and see all this information. So you can set up a schedule in the system and share it with the people in the field. If you need more and you use something like Microsoft Project can actually interface to this and update our schedules. So you always have an up-to-date schedule in the system. If we go back out and get into the highest level, come back out here on projects and everything else, you'll see that I can actually do a multi-project Gantt chart also. So if I have all my projects set up, I can see it across all projects so we can know exactly what's going on at any given time. Now, I know I threw a lot of information at you quick, got a little off track there with some of the things that were happening with my system today. But what I want to do now, guys, is I really want to just open it up for questions. And that way I can review things that maybe anybody might like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we have 2 questions right now.
Okay.
Do we go ahead and push them to the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Awesome. Our first question: does contact management sync with Sage 300 CRE accounts payable vendor info?
Okay. All right, so let's do this because I don't want to ever say anything wrong. I'm going to come back in here into the actual integration, and we'll go right here to the ERP systems, and I'm going to go, which one are we talking about? 300? Let's go 300. To the accounting link for 300. Now, this link, because 300 doesn't have APIs like Intact does, so there's not these direct read and writes, but this link is HH2 does it, but you can see how we link in the system right here. So companies and vendors, it looks like it comes from Sage 300 and comes into Intact or into construction management. So that syncs from that direction, actually both directions it'll go. So yes, the answer is yes to that. And you asked about CR change order information. Let's see here. So we can't do CORs or COs because that isn't available for us to use with 300.
Gotcha. Okay.
But on
We
the
have,
subcontract side, we can.
okay. Next question. And everybody, please feel free
I
to
think I just answered
submit
both
some more.
questions in one.
Oh, you did. Wait, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay. I love it. Awesome. Okay, well, did you have anything else you needed to go over, Jem?
No, I'm sorry, guys, that I got a little off track there. Got a little flustered. I apologize for that.
Hey, no worries. Alrighty. Well, wonderful presentation. Like I said earlier, I will be sending out the recording following this webinar. And please feel free to fill out that webinar survey. Just like I said, your opinions are really important to us. So I know we had a couple technical difficulties. I know I had some on my end, but it's the nature of the beast, you know. So that would be wonderful. We will be in touch with the date of our next webinar. So please be on the lookout for that. And thank you again so much for joining us.